Hello friends, Mandar here. I'm back with another video. Today let's talk about a couple of topics that I found in the comment section in my last couple of videos. Very important questions regarding 485, regarding L1A, regarding the newly started stateside H1B stamping and few other common topics. So a lot of packed content. Watch this video until the end and let's get started. If you are here for the first time, welcome. My name is Mandar and I make immigration and lifestyle related videos for US and Canada. I'm not an immigration lawyer, so anything that I say on this video or on my channel is for information purpose only. And for your specific immigration needs, before you take any action, you should hire a competent immigration lawyer. Now, if you want to talk to me and get my opinion, you can contact me on Calendly. There is a time you can book with me and I will share my thoughts and opinion with you, particular to your situation. Also do check out the links in the description because those are affiliate links and you may find something interesting and that will also help the channel. And while you are down there, do hit the like button. Your likes, comments and subscribes really helps the channel, and through your comments, I get my next topics because I know where things are trending and where are the questions. So keep them coming. Now let's talk about the first topic of the day, which is kind of interesting because now is the election year this year in the United States and also in India. But somebody asked me, if Donald Trump gets the nomination from the Republican Party and if he gets elected for the second term, what can we expect in the immigration section? Now this is totally subjective. It's up to what you feel is right for you. There are so many ways to look at the immigration, from the southern border perspective, from family-based section perspective, from the employment-based section perspective, for asylum seekers and so on. So it really depends on who you ask this question, whether Trump administration will help your case or not help your case. But from my perspective, from the green card perspective, for employment based section, I would think that there might be some restrictions that would come in if Trump were to get elected in the second term. Remember last time what happened? He closed the borders for certain countries, he halted the visas, and that had some adverse impact on a lot of people who were outside of the United States. But as a byproduct of that, people who were within the United States kind of gained something. Now, how did they gain? It was in terms of the visa availability. Because there were so many fewer visas given at the consulates, those numbers became available for the employment-based section for adjustment of status within the United States. Granted, there was pandemic at the same time as well, but even before the pandemic, there were a lot of restrictions that allowed more visa numbers to flow over into the employment-based section and make them available for people who were already in the United States. Now, if you think about it, in terms of backlog, this might help. This might have an indirect positive impact that we have seen in the past. So that is really what my thought is regarding the Trump administration coming back into power for the second term. Let me know in the comment section below what you think about it. Is it going to be good for the employment based immigration or is it going to be detrimental to it? I would love to hear those comments. Now another topic keeps coming when I talk to people on phone or in my calls is Mandamus lawsuit for people who are waiting for longer than expected time for their petition or any of their cases. Now there is a Mandamus law, this was fought long time back. What it tells is, if you file a case with uscis and if they have not processed your application within a certain time frame, you can actually sue the government using this Mandamus lawsuit. Now a lot of law firms have given their perspective on Mandamus lawsuit. It really helps people who are stuck in the backlog or stuck in the processing time for a certain case. I have seen this work for a lot of EB5 cases for their 829s. Now if their 829s are delayed by say 2 years or 3 years, that really puts those applicants in a difficult situation. Now in that situation, I have seen people apply through this Mandamus lawsuit against the uscis and getting their cases resolved within few months instead of having to wait even further. Now the success rate for the Mandamus lawsuit is quite high. It's about 99% as per the survey data. Now here you have to make sure you understand couple of things. You have to be had waiting on the case for a longer period of time. Otherwise, USCIS can just fight back and say it's still under the normal processing time and you will lose your money in this lawsuit. That is one thing that you got to remember. If significant time has passed beyond what is a reasonable time for a particular type of case, only then consider filing Mandamus lawsuit. Now, second thing is these are expensive. Lawyers charge incredibly high amount for these lawsuits. Although it's a win-win situation for both the contestant and the law firm, because law firm gets the money and USCIS has to process the request and get a result back to the candidate. So it's a win-win situation, but this does not guarantee an approval. That is something that is the third thing that you have to remember. Mandamus lawsuit, what it does is it forces USCIS to give you a decision within say 1 or 2 months, but it does not guarantee that it will be approved. They will just make sure that they make a decision on your case. It could also become a denial. So think about all of these factors when you are planning to sue the USCIS. I just wanted to cover that point with you. If you have any particular questions regarding this, it's better to hire a good competent lawyer. But if you just want my quick opinion, you can also contact me. Now the third point is interesting, and I have come across this question couple of times. What happens is, as you know, the stamping on the visa is essential unless you have a advanced parole card with you. But if you don't have that, or if you are on a non-immigrant visa in the United States, you need stamping to come back to US if you travel outside. Now, if your visa stamping is about to expire and if you haven't got an appointment in the Indian consulate or consulates abroad, then some people rush to make a trip before their visa expires. Now, the question is, if there are only few months left on your visa, can you travel to India or somewhere else Can you travel to outside the United States and come back just before a visa expires? Now, the technical answer to this question is yes, you can. As long as the visa is valid at least for a few days, the USCIS officer at the border will allow you to come into the United States. But here are the implications. They might not give you enough I-94. So that might put you into a situation where you will need to fast track your extension and get that extension approved before your I-94 runs out. So technically it's not a problem to come back. It's about how you stay after that, because your visa or I-94 will expire very soon. To be safe, it is always advisable to have at least 6 months of visa validity, including passport validity, before you re-enter the United States. That's just my personal opinion. Let me know what you think about it, or if you have more questions about this particular point. Now hit the like button and consider subscribing to my channel, because that will put you into the end of February giveaway that I'm going to do. Do meaningful comments because I do read them, and that gives me insights into what you're looking for in my next video. Also, I'm thinking about buying a domain name for my channel so that people can easily reach me. Oftentimes there are questions with people trying to reach me and they are not able to find my contact information. So that's the reason I'm trying to build my website. I'm trying to acquire my domain name. Once I do that, it will be easier for you to search or look me up if you want to contact me. By the way, my contact information is also in the description or in the about section of the channel. You can check it that way. Now, another question that I get is, if I'm on an L1A visa, if I have my I-140 for EB1 approved, and if I change my job. Now, if you change your job within the company, if you change your role, you don't need to reapply for I-140. But if you change your job, join a different company while you are on L1A, say maybe on EAD or something like that, and if the job category is totally different, you might have to refile for I-140. Talk to your lawyer what the conditions are for refiling. If you want my opinion, I can go into the details of your particular situation. But as a general rule, unless the job is exactly the same, you will probably need to file for your I-140 again. Now, if you are within the same organization, then you don't need to do it. You can continue with your EB1 petition with your existing I-140. So that's all I wanted to clarify in that. I know there are several different scenarios in I-140 or 485 situations, and people kind of take a generalized approach to it. It all depends on what kind of job you are working on, what is the new role, what is if you have changed the company, if you haven't changed the company, if you have changed the geographical area, well, whether it's a self-petitioning EB1 case or whether it's employer sponsored, whether it's EB1A or EB1C. There are so many things to consider before you can get a right answer for your situation. So I hope you understand the complexity of it. Now another thing that I wanted to cover is H1B stamping within the United States is starting tomorrow. Here is the travel.state.gov information site where it said domestic renewal of H1B non-immigrant visa for certain applications is about to start. Let's quickly read through the details because it's starting tomorrow. The Department of State has announced a pilot program to resume domestic visas for qualified H1B visa applicants who meet certain situations. Okay, pilot program will accept applications from January 29th of 2024 through April 1st of 2024, or when all application slots are filled, whichever comes first. So they have a time limit during which they are going to accept these 20,000 applications, but if the number is reached before this time frame is finished, before 1st of April, then they will discontinue this pilot. Participation in the pilot program is voluntary. Individuals who do not meet the requirement for participation in the pilot program or who choose not to participate in the pilot program may continue to apply for visa renewals at US embassies outside. Obviously, there are several steps to apply for this program. Select the country where your most recent H1B was issued. Note this initial pilot is limited to renewal of visas issued in India and Canada. So if your last H1B was issued in India or Canada, only then you will be able to apply for this in-state or stateside visa stamping. The second one is, if you meet the requirement for participation, follow the instructions in the portal to complete and submit online non-immigrant visa application DS 160. That's obviously use the online portal to pay the required non-refundable, non-transferable, machine-readable visa application processing fee, which is $205. Follow the instructions to submit your passport and required documentation. Now here is the interesting part. Department will make available 20,000 application slots during this limited pilot program, approximately 2,000 per week for applicants whose most recent H1B was issued by Mission Canada or during this particular time frame between January 2020 to 1st of April 2023. Between these time frame, if you are issued a visa through a Canadian consulate, then you are applicable, and approximately 2,000 per week for applicants whose recent H1B was issued through US mission in India with an issuance date between February 1st of 2021 to September 30th of 2021. So if you are issued a visa from Indian US consulate in India between this time frame, February 1st 2021 and September 30th 2021, which is a very narrow window if you ask me, then they will make those 2,000 visas per week available for those. So between 2,000 and 2,000 per week, so 4,000 visas per week will be issued at the most. So they are keeping a cap. Probably they want to see how much of an impact this is for their staff to issue these visas. The application slots will be released on the following entry periods: January 29th, February 5th, February 12th, February 19th and February 26th. So the earliest possible time when these visas will expire or run out is February 26th time frame. So you better, if you are planning to apply for the visa in this particular pilot, do so immediately. And then the last topic I wanted to mention is, somebody asked me about overstaying of the visa in the United States. So I know for sure that some of you are interested in stock trading, day trading, buying cryptocurrencies. I want to present you Webull. Webull is a trading platform. It allows you to buy stock, it allows you to buy options, do options trading, and also it allows you to buy cryptocurrency. Feel free to take advantage of this. Join through my link and you will get those free stocks. What does overstaying in the United States mean? Overstaying purely means that if you run out of your visa or if you run out of your I-94, do not stay in the US to accumulate unauthorized stay, because this will come back and haunt you. And if you stay beyond 1 year on an expired visa, which means if you are out of status for more than a year, you can have a permanent ban for say 5 years or 10 years. So be careful on that. Unauthorized stay in the United States is extremely damaging for your visa petitions, also for your green card petitions in the future. So do not accumulate any unauthorized stay. That would be my suggestion. People argue that this is cool, this is okay, but I would say if you want to have a clean immigration petition for your green card in the future, do not stay in the US unauthorized. Always make sure that you are on a particular visa. If you are running out of an H1B and haven't got a next job, go on some another visa or leave and come back on another visa, but do not accumulate unauthorized stay. That's all I wanted to say. So that's really all I wanted to say in this video. If you like the content of this video, do hit the like button and consider subscribing to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one.